Hi everyone, Coach Morgan here, and I wanted to make a quick video to share with you covering the topic about confidence. I know as coaches, especially here recently, there's been a lot of stuff going on with some negative feedback to people, and including myself. And if you haven't come across this yet, you will. And hopefully, some of these tips that I can share with you today, you can learn from and take back and take notes on. And then it'll just help you overcome, when those issues arise. So here goes. When it comes to confidence, this is something that we should be working on every single day. It doesn't, some people it comes more naturally to than others, and that's okay. We all are confident and we all have confidence, but again, it's something that needs to be worked on every single day, because we can always help build our level of confidence. And one thing that has helped me, and I know that has helped many other coaches, and that might help you when building your confidence, especially as a newer coach, is really focusing on your Facebook like pages and Instagram. Now, why I say this is because there are coaches out there, and I have done this, more recently. I've done a lot of inviting on Instagram and trying to invite more and putting ads out on my Facebook like page, because the people that I'm reaching out to on Instagram, I don't know these people. They don't know me. They don't know my story. They don't know where I'm come from. They're not my friends or my family, that I'm fearful of them judging me. They're strangers. I don't care. And that's one thing that has really helped build my confidence is I'm sending messages out to, I don't even care who. I'm just going through, looking at their pages. I'm like, all right, send a message, send a message. Now, of course, I work on my mental mindset before I do so, and telling myself that I immediately have to send a message to them if I feel like it's someone that's going to connect well with me and connect well with, my team of coaches. Because if I go to someone's page and say they have more followers than I do, or they've got 10K followers and I've only got like 1,000 or a couple hundred followers, then that might create some fear inside of myself and start to diminish my lack of confidence. So within seconds of going to someone's profile on Instagram, I already have my mind set up, and I've already talked myself into, I need to send this message out, and I need to send it quickly. And so I do so I don't let, my lack of confidence get the best of me. And then it's done. So hopefully that, little quick tip, sending out a lot of invites on Instagram and, getting more likes to your Facebook like page will help, because you don't feel like that you are, having to bug your friends or your family, especially, starting out as a new coach. That's definitely not something that, we want to do. Of course, we want to share what we're doing, and we love what we're doing, and we love to be able to help people. But if you look at it from a different perspective, hopefully that helps. Another tip, kind of like how I mentioned, once you have to work on your mindset, and you have to tell yourself that you just have to plow through that focused, intense time. So keep that focused, intense time, plow through it, and get it done and over with. Don't allow yourself to second guess as you're going on. Like I mentioned, if I go to someone's page and I see that they have hundreds of thousands of followers, I think, oh, what could I possibly bring to the table for them? What could I possibly do to them? My little self over here, and this person with hundreds of thousands of followers. But that's discounting that person. Who knows? They may be miserable at the job that they're at. And just because they have hundreds of thousands of followers doesn't mean that they're, any better or more special than I am. I have something to offer everyone, and so do you as a coach. So just keep that in mind. Keep your focused, intense time when you're doing that, and that will help. Yeah, as long as you practice it every single day, that will really help build up your confidence. And I'm saying this coming from, a place of doing this myself. And so the next tip that I have for you is just the repetition of it. Demand yourself the repetition. I was talking to Christy in our mastermind group about a week or so ago, and I've taught on this subject. And it's really incredible the amount of repetition that it takes for our minds to really start believing that we are, able and capable and confident to do a certain task. And it's just like doing your personal development every day, as coaches, and adding that into, our vital behaviors. It's just the repetition. You have to keep the repetition going, and you'll get more comfortable, and the words will come to you easier, and the conversations will flow much better as long as you are repetitive and consistent with everything. Another tip that I have is, in a certain situation, find someone who you look up to. I know a lot of us, say may look up to, other coaches on the team, and that's great. So if you find yourself in a situation where you are lacking confidence, think about that one person that you look up to and remove yourself from the situation and say, and ask yourself, what would my role model, what would that person do? How would they hold themselves? How would they carry on this conversation? What would their mannerisms be like? How would they respond? How loving would they be, or how receptive would they be of the information that they're getting? So taking yourself completely out of the situation and putting someone else that you look up to in that situation, then asking those particular questions can help you build your confidence and figure out what you can then do as the person in that actual situation. When you think about, again, the person that you look up to, how would they hold themselves? How would they, carry this conversation? And that, then, thinking about that over time and demanding the repetition of yourself when you get in those situations will, again, help build your confidence. Because we can all look to other people and other coaches, especially on the team, that have been working on their confidence, say, longer than we have, that we really admire, and that'll really help build your confidence when just ask yourself those questions. It takes preparation. And it takes, going through, reading things over and over again and doing trainings over and over again. Again, that repetition and consistency, there's gold within that. And there's a reason why everyone, especially Christy, has been saying it from day one. Be consistent, be consistent, be consistent. And the same thing is just those repetitive things over and over again. You may not get, the latest and greatest information from a book that you just read. It may take you 5 times, 20 times, or just reading it over and over again throughout the entire year for some things to click and make sense. But the more you read it, you're in different situations, say every time that you're doing a particular piece of personal development, like going over a book again. And the more that you read that, you're in a different situation in life, possibly at that point when you're going through that information again. So you could hear something completely differently or read something completely differently and learn something totally new from it. And that's just another little thing that you can keep adding to your little confidence book. And then, the last thing, I got some of this information from Jen Sincero YouTube video. She covered, just a short topic on confidence. And I love the way that she put having confidence as an adult is kind of like taking a risk and being like a kid on an airplane who wants the window seat. So she went through this story about how she was on this plane, and there's this mom that had obviously booked the tickets at the last minute. She had 3 kids, and she was in there. She was rushing. She was stressed out, and 2 of the kids, so they were all kind of spread out. And so Jen, she was saying that, herself in this situation, she was just kind of watching this, and she saw this kid, in the row in front of her, the mom telling the boy to sit down, but he didn't have the window seat. And she kept telling to him, sit down, sit down, sit down in your seat. And, she was getting a little flustered and frustrated. And Jen said that she was thinking to herself, I don't know if I just want to be angry at this kid and, dang it, kid, listen to your mom. But But then she had the thought that, he's also, I kind of want to be this kid's friend, because the way that he was going about the consistency of wanting that window seat, he was very elegant about it. He wasn't rude. He wasn't yelling and screaming to get his way. He was very consistent, elegant, and determined to get that window seat. And, if we think about it, that's kind of like how, almost in anything life goes, but especially confidence. If we are consistent and elegant and determined to be confident within ourselves and to be confident human beings and to be confident coaches, that will happen. And people will see that. They will see that vibe that you're putting out into the universe. And therefore, you will end up attracting like-minded people and like-minded coaches that you want on your team. So that's some of the information that I have for you today, and I hope that helps some of you. And Yeah, have a great day.